Most people are focusing on the wrong problems when they want to create a change in their lives. Because when I'm in conversation with individuals about their goals and their dreams and their ambitions, in most cases, I hear the question, how? How do I create a change? I don't know how I can realize my potential. How do I achieve my dreams and my goals? And this question, how, it shows that you think you're lacking clarity. And that's why people feel stuck. I don't know how. I don't have the information. I'm lacking the strategy. And this is the problem that they think they need to solve. But information and a lack of strategy or a lack of clarity is not the problem that you must solve. Especially in today's day and age, there's so much information out there. If information and strategy was the solution, why isn't everyone in peak shape right now? Because you just have to give your information to artificial intelligence and you will have a complete workout schedule. You will have a complete nutrition plan. And all that you have to do is follow it. So if information and strategy was the problem that we need to solve and that we need to focus on, everybody would be in peak shape. Similar to business and entrepreneurship. Look at the content that Alex Hormozi creates around the strategies. If information and strategy was the problem that we need to solve, everybody would be a successful entrepreneur. But why isn't everybody? Why isn't everybody in peak shape? All the information is out there. It's because information doesn't create transformation. A lack of clarity or a lack of strategy or not knowing the steps to take is not the problem that you must be solving. It is about the person that is holding the information. That's the thing that you need to focus on. You need to shift who you are being in this world, and that's when you start to act differently. The place that you create from is the most important thing to focus on. So, and this is also what I focus on in my coaching, for example, because a lot of coaches, and I don't even call this coaches, when a coach is giving you information and giving advice, he's not coaching. He's teaching, he's a mentor, he's a trainer, but he's not a coach. Because a pure coach believes that you already have the answers inside of you. You are the expert of you, but you just don't know how to access these answers. Because if you are coming from a place of fear, for example, of course, all the clarity that you create in front of you is not good enough. Because you will be judged by other people. You will face rejection. What if you fail? You don't have the certainty that you won't get hurt. You don't have the certainty that everything will work out. So if fear is creating in life, of course, every single clarity that you have is not good enough. Because you never get the certainty that you will be okay. Or that you won't get hurt. So if you're being fear, then the action is stagnant. There will be no change. So this is where you need to change the place that you're looking from. The place that you're creating from. And the same question comes up actually as in, but how? How do I shift my being? How do I shift the place that I'm creating from? So if fear is, for example, if that's the lens that you're looking through into this world, what if we would change the place that you're looking from? So let's imagine that you are your most courageous self. You are the most confident version of you. You are your best self. If that version, if you brought it into your exact moment, if it was life or death for you to find a way forward, would you be able to find a way? Of course, you will be able to find a way. You would be resourceful in moments like that. Even though you don't have the clarity, that version of you can find a way and can find the clarity you need to create a change. So this is where, with these kind of questions and with these thought experiments, you can already tap into different energies. What if you knew that you wouldn't fail? What if you knew that you would not be rejected, that you won't face any judgments from people? What if you were certain about this? What kind of steps would you take? If you knew that you would always be supported, what kind of decisions would you make in life? You would access completely different answers when you feel into a question like that. But how come? This is how the shift of being and the shift in the way that you're looking at the world is shifting the answers that you receive. So if you're looking from a place of fear, you won't see the answers, even though they're right in front of you. If you're looking from a place of comfort and ease, like I don't want to hurt myself, I don't want to feel uncomfortable, I don't want to feel resistance, of course you will access different answers. But if you felt relentless, if you felt confident, if you felt courageous, if you felt inspired, you would move differently. If you felt strongly connected to your purpose, you would access different information. Change who you are being. And like I said, there is not a clear process that you need to follow to shift that way. Like these questions help you to tap into a different state, a different way of being. But this is not all mental. So this is very important when it comes to changing your state and changing the place that you're creating from. It's not just intellectual. Because it's not that you read some affirmations and something changes. It's not that you read some declarations and listen to some motivational speakers and all of a sudden everything changed. It's not a one and done thing. It's about a decision. And that's, I believe, key when it comes to shifting your state and your being. It is a decision. So when you feel something, when you tap into these answers through, for example, these questions, it's speed of implementation. How fast can you act upon it? Can you create from this place of trust and faith moving forward? Because it's an internal decision. You feel it. And this is why most people, I believe, they stay too neutral in life. They stay just in a safe, let's say, experience of life. So they don't experience a lot of pain, but they also don't experience a lot of, let's say, the greatness and the joy that's on the other side, and a lot of love. So they're staying in the neutral space. But you also need to increase the pain of your current situation. Like, when is enough enough? How long are you going to be accepting this current reality? You need to get sick and tired of this. Because this also helps you to make a powerful decision moving forward. I'm no longer going to live a life like this. You have to raise your internal standard. Certain things that you're accepting right now need to become unacceptable to you. And you can see, and this is also for you to reveal something about you. So this is not me sharing like this is what it's supposed to be like, but this helps you to access information that is already inside of you. What would it feel like if you would show up like that in your life? Instead of like, oh, I don't know the information, let me look for the information. And when you can't find it or when you feel overwhelmed, you just stay stuck in life like it's always been. Like, that's one way of being. But what if you would be sick and tired of this? What if you would imagine yourself in the future regretting that you didn't move forward courageously? Regretting that you constantly make the decision for ease and comfort. Like, what would that feel like? So this is how you change the way that you feel. So this is one way. The questions can access a different state inside of you. So that's one way. It's a decision. So speed of implementation. And the different thing is, it's acting in alignment with that version. So that's again the doing, but also being around people, changing your environment. If you are working, for example, at a gym with personal trainers, and this is something that I've experienced. When I was around personal trainers, it was normal for people, it was actually expected from people to bring your meal prep to work. If you didn't, you would be looked at weird. Like, why didn't you bring this? People were even looking at, what were you eating? How many calories is this? Why did you put this in your meal prep? Why did you eat this? Well, it's like constantly people are focused on what I was eating, for example, and how I was training. Why are you doing these exercises? Why this technique? How is this in alignment with your goal? So there was so much attention to detail on my workouts and my nutrition. How do you think that changed the way that I was looking at my workouts and my nutrition? Like, that exposure to a different being help me to access the being inside of me. How would it be if I would treat my workouts, my health and fitness, like a world-class athlete? Not that I have to be a professional athlete that is going to the Olympics, but what if that kind of being is holding my health and fitness, this area of my life? That would be different. Then I would be showing up differently, and I could access this by exposure to people. So are you in environments that expose a different way of being and a different possibility for you? And I know sometimes this is vague language because people still don't know, it doesn't make any sense. Like, how do I do this? And how do I do this? So people are still stuck in the how. I need to know how. But who do you need to be? This is the question that you need to ask. Who do you need to be? What version of you already has the answers? This is what you need to focus on. What version of you can access the answers like this and the strategy that you need to implement like this? Because if you're looking for a strategy from a place of certainty, I need to know that this works. Of course, every strategy that you find is not good enough. What is the place that you're looking from? This is what will create a change in your life. Be, do, have. Change who you are being, and you will change the results that you create in life. And this is what keeps on fascinating me when I talk to clients. Like, I just finished a group that I was running, the all-in sprint. So I do at the start of every single quarter, I have a 7-week sprint with a group of men. And what fascinates me every single time when we're talking about results and what they've created, they never refer to the tangibles. They never refer to, I knew exactly what to do right now and I achieved my goals. Yes, they created beautiful results and The way they feel about themselves is different. The way that they experience themselves, the way that they experience life, who they are being is completely different. That's what they always talk about. And then they prefer freedom and peace and confidence, because this is what we're actually after. We're after a different experience of life. So you can create this already. You don't need to have certain results for you to be someone different. It's not have, be, do. Be, do, have. That is the sequence. You don't need $1 million to be a millionaire. Of course, on paper, you're officially, according to the societal standards, a millionaire. But what is the being that is creating a million? That's the thing that you need to focus on, because that's what you need to become first. Otherwise, you will never create a million. The being comes first. So I hope that answers the question from many different angles, that the how question is not what you want to be focused on. Who are you being is what needs most of your attention. And if you don't know how to shift this, if you can't access that power because you keep falling back into, let's say, fear, then you need help from the outside. And this is what I highly recommend, because it will save you so much time. Instead of trying to figure out everything by yourself, I would highly recommend to ask for help, because this is the one thing that I regret the most when I look back at my life, that I didn't ask for help fast enough. And that's why I wasted years of trying to figure it out when I could have figured it out in months, just working with the right people. So that's it.